Welcome into another episode of Inside the Charge. Maddie Glab alongside of defensive tackle Daquan Jones, who's with us today. We're going to talk cornhole, we're going to talk football, we're going to talk travel, and cover it all. So Daquan, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, let's get into it. Daquan, you guys are in OTAs right now. Lots of new faces on this roster, especially on the defensive side of the football. You've been at it a few weeks with these guys, so you're starting to get to know the new faces a little bit. What do you think has been your biggest takeaway from this new look Bills?
On the defense side of the ball, I can just say the eagerness to learn. I feel like everyone's they're just trying to understand what they have to do so they don't fall too far behind. We got a lot of new faces, a lot of new young guys, especially on the D-line. So just the eagerness every day in that meeting room, everyone's trying to learn. And I like it because, in our room, everyone's asking questions every day, which wasn't really a thing we did in the last couple of years. So just having a better understanding for the defense and what they want and how we want to execute it, it goes a long way. And I really enjoy that part.
You're an ultra vet. You've been in this league 10 plus years now. So when it comes to these newer guys asking questions, do you chuckle at all to yourself, just remembering what it used to be like being a rookie or someone who was in a new defense?
I think back to my first time in Tennessee when I got drafted, and it was like a sealed book. I mean, no one really tried to talk with you technique or really anything because it was such a grimy business back then. Everyone wanted you're trying to fight for another man's job. But the openness here to kind of how, we want everyone to be better. We know what the end goal is. We want to win a championship. And we can only do that when everyone is on the same page and we know what to do. And right now we don't know who or what those pieces are going to be in the fall or training camp. So make sure everyone knows what they have to do is critical. And just thinking back in Tennessee, I don't really have that luxury and had to go out there and kind of you earn it the hard way. But eventually I had some of the older guys take me under the wing after that, saw what I can do. But here from the get-go, I think everyone's here to share knowledge and make sure everyone's on the same page so we can go out there and execute at a high level.
That's really cool. I mean, walking into an environment where newer faces and younger players can feel like I'm not walking into somewhere that's hostile. I'm not walking into somewhere where I feel like I really have to prove myself. Yes, I want to work hard, but I also can ask questions and be open and honest with the guys in the rooms. That has to start somewhere, and it probably starts with the older players. How have you and maybe Vaughn and some other guys in the defensive line room really set that up to where these guys walk in and they're feeling like, oh, this guy wants me to play my best here?
Really just talking to him in the meeting. If the coach is going over a detail, going over a play, and if I see something that one of the young guys can do, I'll go over to their seat and tell them what I see and kind of go back and just try to feed them low information as much as I can in the meeting, throughout the meeting for what I see. Even like today, just telling the guys, just take the time. I mean, I know they're gonna get. The coach is going to be on their butts about, doing the small things and running around. And I'm like, just take a deep breath, understand that it's part of the job of being a young guy. But at the same time, just we have enough time from now into training camp to kind of learn. We got to learn. And you can learn at your own pace and kind of just take a deep breath and let it come to you.
It's also nice when there's not several cuts throughout the offseason. These guys can actually learn the playbook, play the preseason games, and then figure out, okay, am I on the roster or am I not on the roster? You also re-signed with the Bills this offseason on a 2-year deal. Why did you want to stay in Buffalo?
I mean, I loved it. I mean, when I signed here and I got a taste of the scheme and what we do, I just fell in love with that. And the icing on the cake is the fan base, and what this team means to Buffalo and vice versa. It's hard to match that anywhere else. And I'm comfortable here. I have a relationship with all the coaches and players, and it was just to start all that back up again, go somewhere else. I mean, it didn't make sense to me. So when they came knocking, it was an easy decision.
Austin Johnson is now a part of the defensive line room. He was somebody that you played with when you were in Tennessee for, I want to say, 4 seasons together. And when it was announced that he was going to become a Buffalo Bill, we saw that you celebrated that signing. Seemed like you had played a little part in getting him to Buffalo. What is Austin Johnson? What is that relationship like with him? And how did you convince him, hey, hey man, you got to be here?
Yeah, I mean, that's like a little brother to me. We both played at Penn State together, and when he came in there, I hosted him on his official, and kind of since then we kind of been hitting it off, and we remained close over the years. Like you say, he got drafted at his draft party in Jersey. I was there when he got the call from Tennessee,
That's
so
so cool.
That was pretty cool. And just for him to call me and tell me that he had two options and he's leaning towards Buffalo, and be able to tell him my part and why I chose Buffalo and why I thought Buffalo would be a good fit for him. And he told me to think about it, and I think by the end of that day, he called me back and told me he's going to sign with Buffalo. So I was very excited with that. I'm happy he's here. I think he'd be a great addition on the D-line for us. And I can't say anything bad about that guy.
One of the reasons why people love playing here, why players want to re-sign here, is because of the culture. And a lot of that happens inside the locker room. Well, when you walk into the locker room here, you see guys playing ping pong. You see guys playing cornhole.
Yeah.
And you are somebody who is playing cornhole in the locker room. When did you start playing that game?
I didn't start until I got here.
Really?
I mean, Deion Dawkins put me on, and I've been hooked ever since. He showed me the game. During OTAs, my first year here, and I fell in love with it, and we play all the time now.
Did it come easy to you, or was it something you had to work at? I myself play cornhole for fun, like in the summer at a party, but I am terrible. I feel like as an NFL athlete, you're just good at sports.
No.
Was it easy for you, or did it take some time?
No, I got whooped pretty good. I mean, Deion, it was hard trying to understand the game and understand just tossing the bag. Like, it's different like this cornhole and this
I just want to whip this thing.
Yeah, there's a different type of game, and just learn how to throw the bag and understand the slide and push and all the different rules of cornhole. And he taught me it all, and now I can hold my own with him. And he invited me to Louisiana like a month ago to play that tournament. I loved it. So I'm a huge advocate for it now.
Yeah, you guys were on ESPN playing in the Cornhole League tournament, the American Cornhole League tournament.
Yep.
What was that like? You turn on the TV and there's some NFL players participating in a cornhole tournament.
Yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking. You walk in there to a big gym and there's nothing but boards lined up in teams, warming up and playing, because they played before us. So they were playing all day. But, I mean, the amount of talent and that people have playing cornhole is crazy. I mean, one thing I like about it, and Deion touches about it, is like, doesn't matter how big or small or if you're handicapped or not, you can still play this game. That's why it makes it so special. And, going out there and being able to play up there with other peers around the league, and also be able to play against, the ACL's best, players was a really cool experience.
How'd you guys do in the tournament?
Well, my team won.
Ooh.
Yeah, my team won. Yeah, my partner was Blaine, and it came down to it was me and Blaine for Deion and Adrian, and we won.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, explain the throw. How do you do it? How do you toss it? Everybody's got their own spin to it, I'm sure. What is the key pieces of putting a toss together for you?
For me, in my mind, I think like if I'm going bowling, like
okay.
It's a little opposite, because you have to turn that way. But like if you're trying to go for like a corner pin, you're trying to like turn it out. So like for me, I just try to like toss like I'm going for like the corner pin, and for me, it goes right down the middle, and it works for me. So.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Like,
are you somebody who's hot at the start? Are you a closer? Are you consistent?
I think I'm a closer. I when I start out, like I'm okay, but when I get warmed up and I'm good, like I can get a four-bagger.
That's awesome.
For sure.
Who are the top 5 players in the locker room? Or are we learning, since there are a lot of new guys on this team?
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of the new guys play, but I'll go in no particular order.
Okay.
I would go Deion, AJ, Cam Lewis, myself. I mean, Dirty Red, Tyler, he was good too. He was good too. But right now,
maybe the 5th spot is open.
Yeah, it might be open, because we had a couple guys who are not here no more that were pretty good. I think the 5th spot's open.
Is Deion at the top of the list, or do people can people kind of compete with him in there?
I think AJ might be the most consistent when like, he always throws it like down the middle, and I don't understand how he does it, but he's very consistent, and I would probably say he's number 1 to beat right now.
All right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You've got your second annual Cornhole Classic coming up on June 15th
Yep.
in Binghamton, New York. I want to talk about that. The proceeds go to athletes. Why did you want to have this event?
I mean, after so when I got here and I played cornhole, I really enjoyed it. And then Dion had an event here, I think it was last year, and I really enjoyed that. And I'm like, yo, I want to try to do something like that back home, my hometown. And so I went home, and I think 3 weeks before I did it, I found out there's like 2 cornhole leagues that, play back home on Thursday nights, and it was pretty packed. Well, we might as well try it. And like we did it last year. We had a great turnout. A lot of people came. Then we raised like $3,000 for athletes. And, this year we have like 64 teams already signed up to play. So it's going to be a long night, but it's going to be a fun night. And I'm just excited to kind of go out there and play cornhole.
Going back to the locker room setting, having games in there, when you have so many new players being introduced to a locker room, a team, an offense, a defense, new system, trying to learn things, how does playing cornhole or playing ping pong help bring this group together? And also, how is it unique to Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just it sparks that conversation, and it just helps you kind of get to know your teammates more. I mean, as you're throwing, you can sit there and have a conversation about, whatever you're going through, about life, about your family, whatever the case may be. You got to sit there and talk about it. And, even like today, I mean, they were competing like crazy over that ping pong. And there's one game I can't play, but, they're over there competing and stuff, and just another way to kind of drive that competitive edge. And at the end of the day, I think it makes his team better, and it makes the team go in the long run.
We are in the off season right now. You guys are coming back and forth here for OTAs. Mandatory mini camp is coming up, and then you guys have a big break before training camp. What have you been up to this off season, Daquan?
I mean, I've been traveling. I went on 2 big vacations. I went on the Icon of the Seas, the new cruise line, and that was crazy. I highly recommend everyone go.
He's a cruise guy too.
No, I didn't go with him, but I tried to recruit him to go on the trip. It was kind of like last minute notice. But yeah, I went on there, and it was pretty cool. And then just last week, I went on my dream vacation to Bora Bora.
So dream vacation, because if you go onto your bio, it says dream vacation spot Bora Bora, and you made this happen this off season. Why did you want to go there, and what was the best part about that trip?
It was really my wife's dream vacation, and she told me years ago she wanted to go, and we tried to go. I tried to surprise her. Actually, like COVID year, I tried to book a surprise, but then we shut down. So we had to keep pushing it off, and then this year with the contract stuff, I kind of let's book our vacations now, and so we kind of know we got to go. And I just looked online. I'm like, heck with it. Let's go to Bora Bora. So I surprised her with Bora Bora and went out there. And honestly, I think the best part of being out there was actually walking into your room, like the hut. Like the hut was. Was
it like an over the water hut type thing?
Yeah, the one over the water, so cool. And have like a pool in it, and I'm not really an ocean guy, so I was happy we had a pool in there, and I can just kind of watch the water. So, I think the rooms were the best thing about the whole island.
Oh, that's amazing. Not an ocean guy because of sharks, because of what's in the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a real fish guy. I'm not like I was traumatized as a kid. Long story short, I had a fish stuck on my shirt, and it was just flopping around, and it kind of just traumatized me a little bit. So now I don't really like the water. I don't like the fish, and we were over there. We saw turtles and stingrays, and just made me even more cautious about going in the water. But I really did enjoy it.
I totally understand that. And having an overwater bungalow sounds incredible. You also said you went on a cruise.
Yep.
Was it your first cruise?
Second one.
Second one.
Yeah, second one. Yep. And I became a fan of those, and I want to do them yearly and make it like a family thing. Like invite all my brothers and my nieces and nephews, and try to set that up. So next year we're trying to go on the Icon again, but bring all of our families.
Cruise people have things that they want to do, things that they love to do on cruises. If you've been on a cruise more than once, you know the lay of the land. What are a few things you have to do when you're on a cruise?
Well, I would say the Icon, they had these little pop-up ice cream shops that were amazing, and like I probably found myself there with my kids like every day. Like I was blaming on my kids wanting to go there, but it was really me.
Oh,
and,
you guys want some more
yeah,
ice
want
cream?
ice cream, and I
kids
went
said
there every
so.
day. And I would say the food like is actually really good. You get like the food packages, and you kind of eat whatever. I think the highlight is they have like a little pizza shop. I forget the name of it, and it's like 24/7. All you can eat pizza, little thin slices, and I mean it's dangerous now. And my first one I went out, I took my dad, and my dad was there like all night. Like we actually called him one night, like coming down like 1 o'clock in the morning
I'm
and
at the
grabbing
pizza
pizza,
shop.
going back. Yeah. So I mean it's addicting for sure.
In the off season, are you someone who, hey, I'm on the defensive line, I'm trying to bulk up, and then when I get back here ahead of training camp, I'm going to work on my body? Are you able to do something like that so you can hit the pizza shop and the ice cream shops as much as you want?
Well, yeah, like I train very hard in the off season back home with my trainer Kevin, and we kind of get after it. We and my wife does a great job with just helping me stay focused on my diet and trying to make sure we're putting the right stuff in my body. So I like to semi bulk and then like try to cut in this whole month and a half going to camp. But right now I'm kind of in the cutting phase and just trying to make sure my body's in the best shape. Every year you gotta make sure you're doing something even better for your body, going to year 11. So I'm just trying to just stay on top of my health and when it comes to my diet and just take it one step further.
What are some new things you are doing, whether it's diet, whether it's physique wise, whether it's in the weight room as you approach your 11th NFL season? Because you hear rookies become, second, third, fourth year players, and what they start to say is, I'm learning about my body, I'm learning about treatment. But then once you get into the double-digit years, you have to double down on that even more.
Yeah. I think it's tough because I go to speak for myself. When I first came in, it's hard when you have, these strength coaches, they meet you and they only see you for a couple months, but they're trying to tell you what your body should be at, whatever it is. And it takes a while for you to learn your body in this game and understand like how your body kind of reacts to certain situations. So for me, just making sure that I'm really making sure I eat as clean as light as I can in the off season because you have to build that habit. And then when I come here, when I'm training or I'm stretching, like working more on like the little stuff, more like ankle moves and making sure you get that flexion in your ankles, your bend and the way you move all starts there. So make sure those are all primed up and ready to go. And in the weight room, just we're lifting moderate, but also making sure the details are all there. And I'm really working on my form and make sure my overall body's strong, not just certain parts.
What does eating clean look like to you? What's on your plate in the off season? What do you have to avoid?
Yeah, so actually I have like a gluten allergy. So I try to stay away from like bread as much as I can. So in the morning.
Is that easy?
No, it's not. 'Cause I
we all love bread.
Yeah, my favorite food is a burger. I could eat a burger every day of the week if I could.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner?
Yeah, I can every day I could. And so for me, like in the morning, I do like 4 eggs and some avocado and bacon. And lunches are for me are kind of tough. So I kind of try to do like sauteed chicken and like a Caesar salad. And then for dinners, we do like just ground beef and rice. Like keep it real simple and kind of like change the flavors up every other day and kind of keep it going.
Are you cooking? Is your wife cooking? Do you guys have somebody that helps you out with that?
She is trying to teach me to kind of do it myself, but she does majority of the cooking.
Way to go, wife. Yeah,
I know, but I'm trying to do it myself because she don't come up here during OTAs. So when I go home, it's me doing it. So just she kind of coached me through like stuff I like, how to cook it. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so you have kids at home, you got a wife at home. I hear you also have lots of dogs. Is that correct?
Yep.
What's the number there?
So I have 4 Mastiffs.
4 Mastiffs.
Yeah. 4 Mastiffs. I have 2 they're all Presa Canarios. 2 right now currently live with me. 2 of them right now are living with my dog trainer just because of behavioral issues. I'm not home. So, but we still take care of them, still love on them. So we have 2 right now living with us, but we had 4 at one point.
How big are these dogs?
About like 115, 120.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The big babies.
That's more than me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you always love those types of dogs? Did you always want big dogs in your life? Because there's people who are small dog people, big dog people.
I had a pit bull. My first pit bull passed away last year, and that was my first dog I had, and I loved him. And but I always wanted like a kind of a bigger dog. And when I picked up these puppies back in 18, like I wanted the 2 boys, but then the female was like attached to the other one. So like I'm like, gotta
Bring
take
them
it.
all with.
Gotta take them. So I bought 3 puppies at one time, and I had a older mastiff at the time that I bought when I was still in Tennessee, and they all got along great. And then obviously when the whole dynamic of you leaving the house, and that's a whole nother conversation you have. But they kind of got out of hand. But we still keep an eye on all 4 of them and make sure they're all in good health. But we have 2 that live with us now, and they're doing good.
So the 2 that live with you now, how much attention do 2 huge dogs need?
Dude, not a lot. They're very docile. They're very they're very lazy dogs. Like they sit there and they kind of lay around all day. But they go outside and run around and have a blast. And other than that, they're very easygoing dogs.
That's pretty cool. I also want to talk about some things that you have going back on at home, because you have this Cornhole Classic coming up, but you also have a place called the Legacy Lounge back in Binghamton. Why did you want to open up something like that?
Yeah, just one of them things. Again, like I have these, like popcorn brain where I think about what I want, and all from an early age, there was like a couple things that I had to cross off my bucket list, and there was like dogs, nice house, acreage, and I wanted to own like my own like liquor lounge one day. And the opportunity came and presented itself to me a couple years ago, and I jumped on it. And we've been open now for like 2.5 years, and it's been a huge learning curve for me. But I truly do love it and enjoy it, and I just wanted to get back to my community. I mean, we have Irish pubs, which is nothing wrong with Irish pub, but that's all we have back home. We just wanted to bring a different type of nightlife out there.
So it's a hit so far?
Yeah, we the first year was great. Obviously learning through the whole employee phase and growing through that, and but we're doing good. We're on track to have a positive year this year, so I really can't complain.
You also have a podcast and a lifestyle vlog. I mean, you have things going on in your life outside of playing for the Buffalo Bills, which a lot of players, especially vets like yourself, start to focus on. All right, what else do I have going on for myself? Why do you feel like it's important to have a legacy lounge, to have a podcast and a lifestyle vlog, to have other things happening at the same time?
To kind of learn yourself. I mean, you don't know what you like, and we talk about every day that we're not just football players out here. We're human beings, and the NFL stands for one thing, not for long, and you have to figure out what you're going to do after. So when my time comes, when I hang up the cleats, I want to be able to have different type of avenue that I can go down, and stuff that I enjoy that kind of keep me entertained, that I can do after football. So I'm just trying to figure out like what I like to do, and if I do like it, keep it in my back pocket and kind of keep building over time. So when I do say goodbye to the game, I have something to roll into.
Is there anything that's at the top of your list right now that you've kind of dipped your toe into, and you're like, hey, this would be really cool to pursue whenever I hang up the cleats?
I really do like the podcasting and lifestyle. I think I want to get my story out there more often. I'm trying to be more vulnerable and open up. Never been a fan of the camera or the microphone, but I'm trying to push myself.
Doing a great job right now.
Thank you. I'm trying to push myself and kind of just grow as a person in that area. And I think last year when I first did it, I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. And then this year we're working on a lot of good stuff and just trying to kind of keep on pursuing that. Where can people find that stuff? Yeah, so my lifestyle page, podcast page is CY Legacy. It's on IG and on YouTube. You can follow me there. It's tagged in my bio on my personal page. So yeah. You said you're checking off these boxes of, the dogs, the kids, the house, the acreage, the lounge. What else is on that list that you're going to check off? One of my biggest goals is to double the amount of money I made during football, outside of football, just to prove to myself that I can continue to be successful and make the amount of money I would be playing football outside. So my next goal is to find ways to generate income for me and my family to challenge myself to make as much as I did playing in the league. That's awesome, and I think that's so smart that so many players nowadays are focusing on. It's not taking away from the game, but they're also focusing on life outside of football to set themselves and their families up for success for the rest of their lives. I want to finish off by
some rapid fire questions about the defensive line room, because there's a lot of new faces that we're all trying to learn right now, and I'm sure you guys are too. You know them way better than I do, but I know you guys are building those relationships right now. So who is the funniest guy in the defensive line room?
Probably me. I get that a lot. Yeah, probably me.
You're cracking jokes?
Yeah. I'll go me. I'll go me, and then like funny but not trying to be funny is like Greg Rousseau.
Greg Rousseau.
Yeah, like he's not like trying to be funny, but he's just funny. So
what does he do that's not funny but it is funny?
He just I don't know if I can say it on camera. He's just I don't know if I can say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Because for me, he just looks like, gentle giant, the nicest guy. He's tall, he's big, he's a defensive lineman.
How do you explain someone?
And he just goes about his life, and
I don't know a good way to put it.
He's into anime.
He is. He's just like very. I don't know a good word for it. Like he wouldn't get that vibe that he's like a funny guy or like likes the jokes, but it's how he comes back from like a joke comeback or something like that. Like it's just how he says it, and then his mannerism is funny. So I would say Greg second.
Well, we love Greg over here, so that's hilarious. You also mentioned yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you cracking jokes? What are you doing that people are saying, DQ, you're funny?
Yeah, I am. I'm cracking jokes, and then like don't like my thing is like don't mess up, because like the tension in the room can be kind of high, especially like during OTA, the camp. Like nobody wants to mess up. Yeah, but if you mess up, like I'm gonna give you a look, or I'm gonna make a comment, and I'm gonna say something like, but in a joking way to kind of lighten the room, because we get just too worked up over that stuff.
Yes.
And so like I kind of just fire off on people all the time, and people thought like when I got here, like I'm quiet, I don't talk. But I'm like I'm a jokester at the end of the day. Like,
you got guys who are fighting for their jobs in that room, and sometimes you need somebody to throw a joke in there once in a while, because I'm sure it can get very serious.
And sometimes not even the joke. It's just like, if someone gets dumped on the ground, you look at them and it's like, buddy, you can't do that. And like, it kind of lightens the mood of the room, and everyone's, laughing.
Everybody takes a breath.
So it's a good time.
Who's the most serious guy on the defensive line? Is there somebody who is not cracking jokes?
No, I mean, I feel like if you ask other people, they might say me as well. But like, I feel like I thought we all mesh pretty well together.
Good.
I mean, no one's kind of not cracking jokes. I mean, no, I think everyone kind of buys in, and we all do it.
Who's the most interesting player on the defensive line?
I would say probably Ed Oliver.
Because he's posting videos on a horse riding, going 22 miles per hour.
Yep. I mean, you never know what you're gonna get with him. He's a character, but he's a great guy. But you never know what's gonna come out of his mouth or what he's thinking. So I would say Ed for sure.
It's always a surprise with Ed.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get.
You got to have somebody like that. Yeah, that's amazing.
For sure.
What are 3 words to describe the vibe in the defensive line room?
I would say funny. God, the vibe. What's the vibe in there? Funny, relaxed, and brotherhood. I feel like. I mean, we're all so close. Even though the new guys get here, like we brought them in, and really it feels like nothing really changed in that room, other than we're teaching and developing. But I think brotherhood, funny, and we're all just very, relaxed and laid back at the end of the day.
Who's somebody that you saw them play last season, didn't have to be on the team, that's not a rookie, that you're excited to see this season? Defensive line room.
That played last year? Not on the team?
They don't have to be on the team. They can be on the team. Somebody who played in the NFL last year that's a part of the defensive line that you're excited to watch them.
First one that comes to my mind, I would say AJ. And I've been since I got here, I've been a huge advocate for AJ. I think last year he took some great strides, and I think just watching him in OTAs, how he's moving, now the game's kind of coming to him. Like, you can't speak for another man in this league, but I feel like he's gonna have a pretty damn good year.
I'm so excited that he's back. I'm so excited to watch him this season. It was amazing to see what he did last year with the team. And it's so great that he has teammates like you who pour into him and really believe in his abilities on the field. One more question for you. Give me a few words to describe Dwayne Carter. We've got a new defensive lineman that was drafted by Brandon Beane and company, and I'm excited that he's here. He comes from Duke. What is this guy like?
He's a smart kid, first of all, and I love his approach to the game. He's if you want to put someone in that serious column, it might be him right now because he's a rookie. But I mean, he's very attentive to details. Like every day we're in the meeting room, he's taking notes, and you know, he go out there, he's trying to apply what he's learning. It's not easy. You know what I mean? You come in, you have to kind of destruct your mind on what you learned in college and kind of you know, get used to the terminology and be able to then apply it. But I think he's doing a great job so far of coming out here and competing and buying into the process.
Daquan, I'm excited to see what this group looks like this season. I'm excited to see you in it, a healthy season, ready to go. We know last season was cut a little bit short. You came back, but this defensive line is better with you in it. So thanks for taking the time to talk with us today. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Stay tuned for more episodes of Inside the Charge.